I'm Eric Barton, the president of Peak Technical Institute. After time spent in the Marine Corps, 11 years, as both an enlisted and an officer, got out as a captain and went through several leadership courses, from sergeant course to corporal's leadership course, through ground intelligence officers course, sniper school, and the like. I also have an MBA, a Master of Public Administration, and a Master of Divinity. I've been able to travel the world, and I currently have operations in 5 continents and 11 states. We own transportation companies, we own horse ranches, we own restaurants, investment banking firms, and several other opportunities, including a Dollar General most recently. And through all that, I have seen a diverse workforce, and people of all levels need leadership. They need to understand what leadership is and what it takes to be a leader. And so we thought hard about what type of course through Peak Technical Institute would do just that. Could take a person from any walk of life that wants to strive, that has a vision and a dream, and that is a man or woman of honor. And that those folks can come to a course and get them out of the classroom. And so through my connection and my friendship with Mike Branch, we thought that the best way to do this was to take people from that business environment or that college classroom and put them into a place where they can spend 2.5 days learning a ton about leadership. And we have the 7 characteristics of leadership here that has been developed through our school and through Mike Branch and his education over 30+ years of training wild Mustangs, of training people how to train horses, and we call it an executive outdoor leadership retreat.
What we want to do through this program is teach people that have been put in charge of something or may be put in charge of something in the future. This program will teach them the characteristics that they probably already have within themselves and teach them how to bring those characteristics out through working with the horse and developing relationships with it. In the past, with different companies that I worked for before I got to be a horseman full-time, they would give us seminars and we would do role plays and things like that to do things. Well, we all knew how we were supposed to act and what we were supposed to do during those things. So it all worked out at the end of the day because it was all act and we knew how it was supposed to be. When we get in the arena with a horse, it's real life. The horse does not know, it has not read the script ahead of time. I have to bring out the characteristics of a true leader and basically prove myself to that horse to bring about the trust to this horse. I've actually experimented and tried some of these same things with people in developing relationships, and the results have all worked because I have to always tell the truth to a horse. And I found out that many times people don't tell the truth. That hurts relationships. But if I'm always honest and always truthful with who I'm talking to, I can develop that relationship. There's a lot of people, you may have been guilty of it, but they got that big heavy Western saddle and they're coming at the horse like this. And fortunately, I've trained this horse real well so it's not scared of that. Then they lift it up and then they pound it down on the horse's back and they say, whew, that was a burden for me. Well, what about the horse? What do you think it did to the horse? Don't make it a burden.
For beginning leaders, it shows them, the real tools of the trade so they can start off on the right foot in a more interesting environment than just being in a classroom setting. And for experienced leaders, it gives them the ability to confirm the skills that they've already been using in an environment that's much more exciting.
I learned a new to me anyway, and unique style of leadership that I can pass on to my employees as well as my customers.
This type of course helps me to build my skills to communicate with my employees on the ground on a daily basis.
This course has taught me just a whole new perspective on leadership.
Adapting to change and actually putting the 7 principles that Mike Branch does a terrific job of going over into use, and all 7 of those principles come into play throughout the entire course.
Leadership through trust. Okay, leadership through trust, partnership through leadership, trust, partnership, and leadership through love, understanding, and communication. But then we got to breaking that down finer, and I also added phases that I use to communication. Because all throughout that leadership through trust, the thing that we're reaching for is a communication with the horse. So my phases of communication began with suggest, then ask, then tell, and then insist. There is a job that has to be done at the end of the day, but I came to realize that my horse is only going to be as soft as the first initial phase of pressure that I use on it. In other words, if I can begin with that suggestion, even if I have to escalate to ask, to tell, or even insist, eventually if I maintain my character and my honor and integrity to that horse to always start with the suggestion, eventually that horse is going to respond to me at a mere suggestion.
We want to get people to come out here to Long Branch Lakes and to learn about what it means to be a true man or woman of character.
Long Branch Lakes is very, very close to the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. It's very, very close to Nashville, Tennessee. It's very close to Fall Creek Falls State Park. Has some of the greatest scenery that you're going to see, some of the most beautiful sunsets, and some of the best trails to ride anywhere. There was one word that was going on the whole time between you and your horse. Well, exactly. Communication.
Earlier today I was sitting in Mike's course, and we were able to see just in a day and a half people that have never ridden a horse before and have them so close together that the horse would follow the student without a rein.
The great thing about the Gypsy Vanner is these horses were bred originally in the United Kingdom by gypsies for specific reasons. They were bred to be a horse of a really calm demeanor because these horses were responsible for pulling their house. Where the Vanner comes from, these wagons were their very house. So they had to have a horse that they could trust their house with. Gypsies also had a lot of kids in their families, so they needed also a calm demeanor because many times that horse was their children's friends. So they needed something they could play on. We thought that with the demeanor that they have, with the type of personality that they have, it'd probably be the best horse in the world that we could use for a program like this.
What I got out of this course is I'm new to riding because I've had a fear of horses, and this course helped me learn not only that all horses learn differently, and that if you're honest with the horses and let them trust you, and you learn how they learn, that it works out really well. And the same with my profession. I teach patients and staff and family members how to do dialysis and help them with their fear of coming into something that they've never experienced before.
You're going to walk away with a wonderful experience and a great set of skills that you learned, and it's going to change your company.